Hello, friends and family of the Common Sense Academy. Joe the lawyer, Joe Palmetto here, taking a look at a document filed by a sovereign citizen in a foreclosure case. We're going to read through the document, point out some of the absurdities, some of the funny stuff, figure out what the heck is actually going on here, learn something and have some fun at the same time. This is a sovereign citizen trying to bug off a foreclosure, using magic words and capitalized letters. But before we dig in, if you like this show, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It's a free way to support the show. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I'm right around 4,000. So subscribe. Free way. If you don't like my channel, unsubscribe later on. Subscribe to the show. Free way to support it. Very low effort. Also, before we begin, before we get down to what we're really going to talk about here, perhaps the actual reason you came is for the same time sip. So pick your glass up, raise it in the air. Today I have coffee, the drink of the gods, because it tastes better when we sip together. Cheers. Delicious. And one more quick sale. If you want to drink the coffee that Joe and the Common Sense Academy drinks, I have here Equal Exchange. There's a link below. I do get a small percentage if you buy some of this Equal Exchange off Amazon, but I wouldn't be selling it if I didn't think it was delicious. I like the way it tastes. It's fair trade, etc., etc. Take a look at it on Amazon. So let's get into this article. I'm sorry, not an article. This is a legal document. So there was a foreclosure. This sovereign citizen is being foreclosed on. And you can see here they filed this with the court. Do not presume or assume legalese in this writing, for to presume or assume is fraud. Thank you for the warning, sir or ma'am. I imagine they couldn't pay their bills, okay? They lapsed on their mortgage, and now the government is the bank, is looking to get their house back. Now, one thing I've encountered recently with sovereign citizens, if you look here up in the upper right corner, you can see a stamp and a signature over that stamp. Apparently, the sovereigns believe that if you sign over the stamp, it somehow takes away the jurisdiction of the court. They call this a form of joinder. I'm going to have to research it a little bit more. I would say it's more ridiculous than it is joinder. Apparently there was an old practice literally hundreds of years ago where signing stamps was an extra step of verification or authentication like this, but what the sovereigns do with it is complete nonsense. So here it says, I am, the name is blanked out, es sua status, a real living woman and the beneficiary of my estate. I imagine you are a living person, ma'am. I am not the corporate fiction entity by which you are trying to steal my home. Oh, you mean the home that you didn't pay for that they're trying to steal? Okay, perhaps you're trying to steal some money. For all listed above and for those abiding and abetting this crime, you have to honor the Constitution as I am blessed by the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost and stand in my unalienable rights. See there, the capitalization gives it special powers. Now I demand that you stop, remove, dismiss, revoke, void any such frivolous claims you are fraudulently using to steal my home. You have no rights to do so. The game you are playing is fraud. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Did you think that she read this? I mean, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay. The fraud has been proven time and again. The Glaske decision presents the idea that if some entity wants to collect a debt, or foreclose on your property, they must first own the debt. Now, I actually looked up the Glaske decision, and that's not true. What the Glaske decision does is allow someone to challenge the validity of an assignment, okay, just based on the fact that their name is in the loan. So what happens, this may happen to your mortgage, is a mortgage will sometimes start with one mortgage company and then be sent to another and sent to another and sent to another. Well, prior to the Glaske decision, I guess it was a little vague as to whether the person who whose name the loan was in could challenge this chain of assignments. The Glaske decision, you said you can challenge this chain of assignments, okay? That's not going to get you out of a loan, but it might determine who actually holds your loan. Also, it appeared to me the Glaske decision is only in California. So I don't know if this was in California, but she cites this Glaske decision. It wouldn't help her on a foreclosure anyway. She says, if the Glaske decision presents the idea that if some entity wants to collect a debt or foreclose on your property, you must first own the debt. None of you do, really. Okay, she doesn't space here, exclamation point. Furthermore, if that entity is claiming ownership by way of an assignment, it must prove the assignment is valid. Now, that's actually true. That's the Glaske decision says that, but it doesn't say anything about what she cites in that first sentence. You haven't and you cannot. Well, I don't know if that's true, if they can't actually prove the assignment. If they can, it's fine. If the trust never owned the note, then it never had the right to collect any mortgage payments, which means I can sue for reimbursement of those payments I have made because you all, capital letters, are interlopers, capital letters, in this fraudulent matter. You don't own this mortgage, and you have no right to steal my home through this fraudulent foreclosure sale on deed of trust. Scheduled for July 31st, 2015 at the courthouse. For you have zero rights to my domicile. And oh, my friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, this is my favorite part. She cited to a YouTube channel. She cited to a YouTube channel. Can everybody see that? She cited to a YouTube channel. Boy, the world that we are living in is getting interesting. That's my favorite part right there, really why I had to make this video. Okay, or are you all about this? www.albanese.co.uk. Now she's in the UK. Thanks for traveling over the pond. The algorithms behind equity default swaps, in other words, auction liquidations. Cheers. Let's do another same time sip. It tastes better when we sip together. Free trade coffee, everyone. Free trade coffee. Yes, I know. I'm an unapologetic salesman, but we all got to make money in this world to survive. I like putting my time into this. If I make a couple dollars out of this, it makes it easier for me to put my time into it. So help me out. Try this coffee, Equal Exchange. It is Equal Exchange, but I like it because it tastes good. It's really good. So the bank never mortgage fraud. So then she gets into citing this federal mortgage fraud law. I'm not going to get into that. That's fairly boring and innocuous. But down here it says, even the Pope, your boss, is going after debt in human slavery corporations, i.e. mortgages, student loans, private prisons, and unfounded arrest kidnappings. Taxes, tax seizures, foreclosures, CPS, zoning, harassment. She doesn't space. That's very annoying. Permit harassment, murder by police brutality are just a few. Human trafficking. So let's bunch all the evils of the world together in one and blame it all on, I don't know, the bank. And drug trafficking, arms trafficking, bank frauds. And then she cites the Gold Shield Alliance and some Vatican documentation. The Vatican created a world trust using the birth certificate to capture the value of each individual's future productive energy. So that's an interesting part of some sovereign ideologies, is pulling the Pope and the Vatican into it. There's all kinds of conspiracies tied to the Vatican. An interesting thing about the Vatican is that it is technically a sovereign nation, and you should look up the story on how that happened sometime. It's pretty fascinating. But she got, this whole article here on how the Pope, the Pope is doing things that are different than the court, and therefore the court lacks jurisdiction. The importance of motu propria by Pope Francis. Motu propria in Latin stands for of his own accord. That's all good, okay, but you actually made a deal to pay this mortgage. You are contracted, ma'am. You are under a contractual obligation, and you can't just slide out of it by using capital letters and citing the Pope. The final sentence here, in addition, no state has the authority of the land, 18 USC 1151. I bet that's fascinating. This writing will be emailed, faxed, and or mailed to the people listed in their full capacity. Take action per my instructions to stop all actions being taken against me and my home. Down here, another stamp, signature across it, autograph without prejudice. No sovereign citizen document is complete without a citation to the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code. The void document, amended notice of substitute trustees, foreclosure, sale of real property, affidavit of revocation of signature for good cause, true copy of a... So she included all these documents here in her filing. True copy of authenticated certificate of life birth. I imagine that that's a fake birth certificate. Affidavit of revocation of signature for good cause. Well, that's just a piece of paper that she signed. And then the void document, amended notice of substitute trustees, foreclosure, sale of real property. I have no idea what that is. I'm sure it's fake and includes a lot of capital letters. So I hope everyone enjoyed this little rundown. Sovereign citizen nonsense. I found this on the Reddit thread called "Am I Being Detained?" Check it out. It's all about sovereign citizens. Another attorney posted this. He said he's got dozens of these, and he's got documents like this from the same lady fighting her foreclosure with sovereign citizen language. Ma'am, let me give you some advice. The better way to fight your foreclosure is with money. Go out and get some, or spend your time doing something productive rather than going on YouTube, learning a bunch of nonsense, and then citing it. You may be homeless soon. I really don't want to see that happen. I don't. Thank you for tuning in today. Common Sense Academy. We'll be back with some more videos very shortly. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Most importantly, right now, subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 10,000 subs. It opens up all kinds of cool YouTube stuff for me. That's a free way to support my channel. Thank you.